All right, everybody, welcome to B.O. Boys for Sunday, May 18th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live in studio. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat. Clayton, last episode we said the summer movie season began with Final Destination Bloodlines, and to prove it, and we are YouTubers. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
If you're watching us on YouTube right now, you are seeing me, Pat, in glorious summer shorts, and that indicates, yes, today is the first day of summer.
Yes.
Summer has begun because I'm wearing shorts, and FDB is out in theaters. And guys, the B.O. Boys saw it. Boots on the ground coming your way on this episode.
Fresh from it.
We're
fresh from it.
So because we are nothing if not honest with our listeners and viewers.
What do we call them?
Wanna B.O. boys, wanna B.O. girls, wanna B.O. people. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
We are nothing if not honest with them. This is a Saturday. Right now, this is Saturday. You're hearing on a Sunday because we're not going to rush and get this out immediately. But this is late Saturday afternoon. We're fresh from FDB. Saw it in the theater. Greatest theater in America, the AMC Lincoln.
Yes.
Burbank has its defenders, but come on, it's AMC Lincoln in New York City. And we're fresh from it. So we are going to give the Saturday numbers that are in. These are the Saturday deadline numbers. We don't have the Sunday numbers because it's not Sunday yet. We don't have the Monday actuals because it's not even close to Monday.
Yeah.
But that's how we're going to do our show now. Boots on the ground, Saturday numbers. And Clayton, before you plow, one little tease later in this episode, we're bringing back probably the most popular segment in all of podcasting right now. We're bringing back Divvying Up the Millions. We will divvy up the millions on a major hit later in this episode. So all that said, table is set. Summer is here. Clayton, could you give us a plow, a Saturday late day plow for the box office weekend of May 16th, 2025?
Final Destination Bloodlines, number one. Wow. With $46 million in its first frame. Number two, for now.
Okay.
Thunderbolts Asterisk made $15.5 million, down 52%. It's got a $154.5 million total after 3 weeks. Number three, Sinners made $15 million, down only 32%. It's at $240.3 million in week 5. Number 4, a Minecraft movie, made $5.9 million, down 23%. It has made $416.6 million in its run of 7 weekends. Number 5, Accountant 2.
Wow.
Made $4.5 million, down 32%. It is at $58.7 million in its 4th weekend. And number 6, Hurry Up Tomorrow, made $2.3 million in its first weekend. Now, there must have been some sort of preview here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. $3 million to $3.6 million. They don't know exactly.
It's a Saturday afternoon. We're being honest with you.
So I feel like we're looking more at that $3 million.
I mean, let's be honest. It'll probably come in under 3. If this is Saturday afternoon, when we get to the Monday actuals. But either way, the weekend, Hurry Up Tomorrow, will have flown to the moon.
Yes.
This weekend. That is a guarantee. That is a slam doink. Let's just quickly start there. The Weeknd, as a movie star, obviously, but as a viable entertainer, is he done because of this movie and what he's done in movies?
Not done, because I don't think Vanilla Ice was done after Cool as Ice.
Okay.
But it was a sort of clarion call.
Right. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, there was that smell in the air.
Right.
And you looked up and you're like, is that?
Can we start picking at the bones?
Yeah. But also, is that like a falling star?
Oh, wow.
Right.
If David Spade was still on SNL You know, he had the Kenan Thompson bug, and he just stayed forever. And there was and tonight, because it's Saturday, tonight, season finale of SNL, ScarJo's hosting, getting ready to promote Jurassic World. If David Spade was still on SNL and we had a Hollywood Minute tonight, he'd be going all in on The Weeknd, Hurry Up Tomorrow. That's a guarantee. We would get a look, kids, falling star picture of The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think talking about The Weeknd as an actor is pointless because...
Oh, I'm saying just as a guy who could be showing up at conventions at this point, is he viable?
No, I mean, so what I was going to say, before I was interrupted, is that there's nobody had any impression that this guy was going to turn out to be even as good of an actor as Eminem was in 8 Mile, right? Or even, 50 Cent.
Yeah,
in
50
some
Cent.
of his action movies. I mean, we forget he was in Den of Thieves.
Yes.
He was in the OG Den of Thieves, not 2, not Pantera.
Right.
That I know of.
Right.
But he was in the first one. He's made his bones now on a TV show, Powers, all this stuff. So this guy's an actor.
Right.
Right? Weeknd's not going to have that trajectory because he's too terrible.
Yeah.
The problem with this is that if you're a falling star, you shouldn't be bringing other stars down with you.
Okay.
You need to be a solitary body that has fallen to earth.
Right.
And smashed into the ground, and we can all mock you.
Right.
And Wendy's can tweet that they hope you die.
Right.
And they hope that your head explodes in the vacuum of space.
Right.
Like they did with Katy Perry.
Right. Right.
Which they have a right to because they're a hamburger. They sell hamburgers.
Hamburger
chain.
The social media account for a hamburger chain, which you now seem to have a lifelong feud with.
I'm not feuding. I'm saying what they said.
Okay.
I'm saying what this burger joint has said about a living, breathing person.
Right. Right.
Okay. So maybe they're going to call for his death next.
Okay.
Because anything's on the table with Wendy's, they have bloodlust.
Right.
The problem with The Weeknd is he is dragging Jenna Ortega down to earth with him.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Yeah, he's still going to sell out stadiums. He's still going to make records at a certain degree. She has a very limited window to become a legitimate movie star by picking good movies. Someone like Zendaya, who is making good choices.
Yes.
Someone like Sydney Sweeney, who is making good choices.
But for the grace of God goes Zendaya. If she had been in Hurry Up Tomorrow,
she wouldn't have been.
Well, that's the thing. She wouldn't have been. So by the grace of her agent, she's not the one who has to deal with.
That's being disrespectful to Zendaya. I think she might have gotten the script and laughed at it, or the script didn't even go across her desk because she would have laughed.
Could this have been a stop or my mom will shoot situation? Right away, there are listeners, keen-eared listeners, who know exactly where I'm going with this. Where famously Arnold got the script for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. He knew it was terrible. He pretended that he was going to do the movie. Therefore, Sly Stallone snuck in, grabbed the movie for himself, starred in a infamous bomb where it's him and Estelle Getty in an action comedy. Arnold the whole time, having a laugh, just taking the piss. He knew. Saw all this, knew it was going to happen. He knew this was a terrible script, tricked Sly into doing this movie. Is there a chance that's what happened here? Zendaya got the script for Hurry Up Tomorrow, knew this is a vehicle to star with the modern day Estelle Getty, The Weeknd. And she was like, oh, I should do this. Said that in front of Jenna Ortega at a big young Stars of Tomorrow Hollywood party.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega jumps in. No, I've got a star in this movie with The Weeknd. And here we are on Saturday afternoon looking at Jenna Ortega being dragged down by this falling star. Could that have happened?
But behind the scenes of the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards.
Right.
And Zendaya just drops this, falls out of her bag.
Yes.
Oh, it's just this really hot script with The Weeknd.
With
you know
The
The Weeknd, right?
Yeah. He's got The Idol coming up, which we all know is going to be big.
And Jenna says, oh, yeah, I remember listening to his stuff when I was a baby.
Right.
Because I'm so young.
Right.
And Zendaya's like, okay, all right. And then she says, "Oh well, it's the only copy.
Yeah.
I'm
And
the only one who's allowed to have this copy. So good luck getting one."
Right. Right.
And there's copies of this thing all over town.
all over town.
There's
The
they're lying
Weeknd
in trash
handing them.
cans.
Yeah.
They're lying in trash cans from wherever you want to say their studios are at, up and down.
Well, the Weeknd's just handing them out backstage.
Mhm.
Instead of backstage passes, he's giving out copies of Hurry Up Tomorrow
Yeah.
script. Yeah, trying to get anyone to make it.
The guy who did Waves is going to direct it.
Yeah.
Like anybody gives a toss.
Wow. Okay.
So that's my beef with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And I don't want to listen. This is not. I don't want to be taking agency away from Jenna
Mm-hmm.
or agency away from her agents who
Mhm.
allowed her to star in this Dookie
Right.
fest.
Well, listen, a great person once said on stage in front of everyone, Frances McDormand said, representation matters.
She said it's important.
Representation is important.
Yeah,
I
you
cannot
always get that
misquote.
wrong. You always get that wrong.
I cannot misquote one of the great quotes of all time.
Yeah.
And someday this will be on our money. Representation is important, Frances McDormand.
And
now we see why.
yes,
A weekend like this, we see what she meant
And
on that stage.
I could see if she was a Bill Murray who doesn't have representation anymore and he only listens to some answering machine and any bozo who gets that phone number
Right.
can call and be like, "Hey, I got this movie about a dog.
Right.
You
right,
should be in it."
Right.
Or
right.
hey, rock the Casbah. And he's like, "I like the Clash.
Right.
Whatever it is, I'll do
Right.
it."
Or hey, it's me, Pete Davidson. Do you want to be in a movie?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, the guy thought that Garfield was going to be directed by one of the Coen brothers.
Yes.
That's why he did Garfield.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's a laugh or he's taking a piss, but I think that's genuine. Just
What happens when you don't have
we
representation?
can have representation.
Yeah.
And I think the problem here is that this could make her the laughing stock by proxy.
Yeah. Here's
Because
what she
she's
has to
in
do.
those scenes that are
Yeah.
going around the internet,
Viral
viral of his
scenes.
terrible acting.
Viral
This
scenes.
isn't like a influencer that has no name behind them.
Right.
This isn't a Kardashian.
Right.
This is like a respectable actor that has used to have momentum
Right.
and is really good in movies.
She had momentum this past
Yeah.
September. Beetlejuice, giant hit.
What have you done for me lately? That's over, Pat. You
Wow.
can't keep going back to that
Well,
because
I'm with you because here's what I say.
Beetlejuice, blank,
Right.
fill in the blank. That's not coming for a while, and by that point, they might replace her.
Wow. It might be her daughter is the star.
Could be.
Here's what Jenna Ortega should do to get herself
Jenna.
out of this mess from this opening weekend of Hurry Up Tomorrow. She should hurry up and tomorrow on television. Not tomorrow, tonight,
SNL.
as we speak, on SNL. Jenna Ortega
Jenna.
should come on stage, cameo during ScarJo's monologue. And ScarJo's like, "Are you here to promote?" And Jenna's like, No. I'm here to fire. And on stage, on live national television, I cannot stress this enough, live television, fire her representation.
Yes.
She should hold up the posters for these movies, rip them up one by one. Miller's Girl, rip
show
it up.
Show the faces of these morons.
That's it. Show not the movie posters, the morons.
Yeah.
Show the pictures 8x10s
Of
of
her
her reps,
representation.
of her represent. One by one,
Fight
rip
the real
them up.
enemy.
Rip them up. Sinead, yes. Call back 50th season. Call back to one of its most infamous moments. They should play Sinead's song, and Jenna Ortega rips up pictures of her representation, says "Fight the real enemy." You nailed it.
While everybody's taking stock and stuff like that, have Miss Flo come on and rip up the photos of the Disney MCU marketing team
Wow.
for this Thunderbolts * New Avengers debacle.
Wow.
Which right now it's number 2. It's going to be number 3 when the actuals come out.
Right.
Nobody
right,
wants to see this turd.
Right.
She pushes Jenna off stage.
Okay,
and says,
double
move,
cameo.
Move over, girlfriend.
Yeah. Double
Rip,
cameo.
rip. Everybody in the marketing team.
Wow. One by one with
Yeah.
their names. I would say addresses.
Home
put
addresses.
the addresses.
Of course, home
yeah.
addresses.
Yeah. Live doxing
Yeah.
on SNL. And then here's how you end that monologue. So Jenna,
That's the monologue.
this is the monologue.
Okay.
It's one of the longest monologues in SNL history.
Yeah.
So Jenna rips up
Jenna.
pictures one by one of her representation, fires them on air. Then Miss Flo, one by one, rips up pictures of the Disney marketing team, doxes them. Their addresses are on the 8x10. So that's the topper. Then ScarJo, hey, remember, I'm the host, takes out a picture of a dinosaur. And she's going to rip it. And then you pan over to the side. There's a T-Rex. Gives her a little look like, come on.
Oh.
And then he takes it off the T-Rex. It's Colin Jost.
Okay.
Of course. It's her husband.
It's her husband.
There you go. And then huge bucket of Dookie from the rafters on his head.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't usually do like scat play on SNL, but
It's the season finale of season 50.
And he may be leaving.
And he might be leaving. This is how you send him out
Yeah.
into the real world.
And all the cast members had Dookie in a porta potty.
Yes.
And they got it out from there. And so that's everybody's
Yeah.
Dookie.
Yeah.
And Keenan hasn't had a solid shit in like 20 years. The whole time he's been on
the whole
so he
time.
was holding it up. He was holding it in.
Yeah. It's the longest running shit in SNL history.
Yeah. He's like, guess what? I haven't shit for 20 years.
Yeah. No, it's that is how you cap off the 50th season.
Yeah.
Promote Jurassic World. Jenna fires her representation. Miss Flo fires the Disney marketing team and doxes them. That's how you do it tonight.
Yeah.
Now, listen, when this episode of the B.O. Boys airs, that SNL will have already happened. So we will know, listeners will know whether we predicted correctly the monologue of this final episode of season 50 of SNL. So we'll see. I think that's how it has to go, though.
It has to. And you know what? Here's the thing. If we drop this episode, we're probably not going to drop this episode because I do think they might still be writing. I mean, the last thing they write is the monologue.
Right. If we drop this episode, they hear this. And we know there are people in the writer's room who are wannabe boys, wannabe girls, wannabe people. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sort of disgusted by the fact that this guy who wants to be an actor, who obviously has no talent at it, and I understand the highest artistic expression is movies.
Yes, of course.
So he wants to be in movies. He wants to star in movies. I get it. I get the impulse.
Yes.
But if you don't have it, don't drag other people down with it. Because when you look at Jenna and where she is this weekend, and then you look at Timothée Chalamet and where he is this weekend, he's hobnobbing with stars. He's rooting for the hottest NBA team in the world right now.
Let's go. I mean, we are in New York City, so we will say it. Let's go, Knicks.
He's dapping up Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
And she is in an extended music video with The Weeknd.
Oh.
3 years from now I remember that corny MFer.
Right.
All the kids on the playground would be like, oh, you still listen to The Weeknd?
Right. He's going to be Hall & Oates.
That's my older sister's music.
Yeah. So, Timmy, let's quickly, because it's not a movie, but I do think this is the equivalent of a hit movie.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy courtside every game at MSG for this Knicks miracle run. Mm-hmm. They just knocked out the Celtics, injured the team, sent them back years. The franchise is in shambles. The Knicks are the hottest team in sports right now.
Yes.
And that is, because, of course, the team is great, but it's because of the celebrities and the stars that are at MSG every night. And I don't think any of them shine brighter than Timmy. No. Timothée Chalamet is burnishing his star power every night at Madison Square Garden.
He is right up there. He's hobnobbing with Spike Lee.
He's sitting
Hollywood
next to
royalty.
Benito.
Yes.
He's sitting right there. Benito and him are side by side. Friday is for the boys at MSG. And I think he is just making himself into such a bigger star. This is so great for his Safdie brother ping pong movie that's coming out. Oh. I think that he's gaining so many new fans, being shown constantly, and just clearly loving the Knicks in a true way. He's not there just for the cameras, but the cameras are always going to be on him. So I think this was the equivalent of Timmy opening a movie that made $32 million opening weekend.
I agree.
So let's get into, though, the movie that is number one. The movie that we just saw with a boots on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and fuck it, it's a raw feed. We keep the coughs in
Yeah.
there. And if you watch on YouTube, you didn't just hear it, you got to see him cough on camera, which was great. Yeah, and now he's okay. Now it's almost now we got some scat play going on here. You got to watch on YouTube. And is he choking to death? Is death coming for Clayton live on air?
There's a bug in there. There's a bug in my. There's a bug in my.
Oh, that's boots on the ground
There's a
for the
bug.
people who saw FDB. Clayton acting out, and this may go viral. This may go viral like the Weeknd acting went viral, but that's some great acting.
Thank you.
Acting out a moment from Final Destination Bloodlines. We
Hey,
just
guys.
came from it. Hey guys, we are YouTubers. Clayton, we're not critics, huh?
Huh?
But what did you think of Final Destination Bloodline?
I mean, it's exactly what you want from this sort of movie.
Yeah.
I think they nailed it on all fronts.
Yes.
I think it's an all-time opening scene.
All time. This may be the best cold open. Does it beat the logger truck on the bridge? Is that agreed upon as the best?
Well, the
cold
logging
open?
truck is not on the bridge. The logging truck is just on a highway.
On a highway. Okay.
There is a bridge one.
Yeah, there is a bridge one. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting confused.
Yeah.
The one that's famous is the one from the second one, and that is the logging truck.
Yeah. That's the big one.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I mean, they're all great.
They're all great, but I mean, I think this is definitely up there top 3.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody in the audience, this is a 2 p.m. showing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful day in New York.
Yes.
Everybody was celebrating the Knicks' great victory.
Yeah, it
over
was not
Boston.
It was not a rainy day in New York.
No. And they were in the theater watching this film.
Yep.
And that speaks volumes
Mhm.
because New York, we love it. You don't get a lot of super nice days anymore. It feels like, I think that's everywhere, but even New York, you get, it's either super hot or it's rainy or it's something. There's something going on.
There's
It's
something
a beautiful
big
day.
observation. Yeah.
And this is a day where people chose to spend part of their day inside to
Mhm.
watch a movie from a franchise that hasn't had a new installment in 11 years?
11 years. Yeah.
So they decided to do that. And this movie is right now in the 40s.
Yeah, well, it's at 46,
Yes.
I think, as we checked. It will be higher.
It will be
I
higher.
think on Monday, this is a movie that is going to hit 50.
It's
but it's
bound
definitely at least 46.
Open bigger than some of the full cumes of the franchise.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, it'll make the most of any of the
Easy.
franchise easy.
They're just to stay on that open, because we were given some boots on the ground. The crowd loved this
Love
movie.
this open.
And here's how I knew this was going to go over like
No
gangbusters.
spoilers.
No spoilers. There is a villain that the movie, and again, this movie.
This feels like a spoiler.
No. This movie does such a great job with these cold opens of basically having condensed short films at the top where you meet characters, they go away. And listen, everyone dies. We know this in these movies, in these cold opens. They create a villain that is so horrid that is going to be one of the great villains, maybe the great villain of this movie summer. And there is a moment when this villain meets his end in this cold open.
See, you got. I think you get. These are spoilers.
All I'm saying is,
No, these are spoilers.
all
Pat.
I'm saying is, and since
People
when
are
do you
so
care?
Because it's
I'll take the heat. I'll take the
Saturday.
heat.
It's Saturday.
I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat. We're airing this on Sunday. They should have went already.
Oh my goodness.
A villain that when this villain meets their end, this crowd exploded. Is that not true? And I know you're on
All
your
of
high
it's
horse about
true.
spoilers,
All of it's true.
but go with your co-host here. That crowd reaction
yes,
was why you go to the movies.
absolutely.
And that moment, I think, sets up that this is going to be an experience that people are going to tell their friends, you have to go see this. You have to see this villain meet their end in the beginning of the movie.
I think most friends
Yeah.
would be a little bit more sensitive to their friends who haven't seen the movie and say,
God.
you got to see this movie. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The kills are great. That's it.
Oh, but you spoiled. There's kills in the Final Destination movie. Oh, here we go. Director hated this guy.
Wanna be a boys,
he
wanna be a
revealed
girls, wanna
that
be a
there's kills
people.
in Final Destination.
Email us at theboboyspodcast
Let's see if he remembers.
gmail.com.
Wow, he remembered the email address. Can't believe
You're filibustering. Who are you, Cory Booker? What's going on over here? You need to email us and chastise this man for spoiling a movie for you, and applaud me for trying.
You spoiled it too. You said there were deaths in a Final Destination movie. How dare you? How dare you?
You're being glib.
How dare you?
You're being
I am not Matt Lauer.
You're being
I
glib.
am not Matt Lauer.
You're being glib.
I am not Matt Lauer. I am not Matt Lauer.
I think you spoiled something that was very special for the audience that we shared in that room, and you took it out of that room.
That's what Boots on the Ground reporting is.
No, it
we
isn't.
set up
Boots
at
on
the
the ground-
beginning. Boots on the Ground reporting. You go to a site, you go to a war zone, and you report what happened. And that's what we're doing here.
No,
the crowd exploded.
You only give them
when
enough
this
to
when
wanna,
this villain met their end.
No. You only want to give them enough when you report on something to keep watching the news. That's
No.
Don't give it away. You don't give it away. You want to get people to watch to the weather.
So back to the movie. The crowd reaction overall.
Is there anything
for
else
this,
you would like to say? Is there any other deaths you would like to spoil?
There's one that I'm thinking of right now that I'm having a premonition.
Yeah, are you?
The YouTube views would spike, that's for sure.
Is it possibly a co-host reaching over to strangle another
I'm just gonna have a drink out of my heavy metal water bottle real quickly, live on YouTube. Hey guys.
And anyway, to say, this movie gives people what they want from this franchise.
Yes.
And a lot of the buzz I've heard is that since there hasn't been another one in a really long time, the youth market goes to these horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were either not even conscious or understanding that movies existed when the last one came out,
right?
Or they were too young to go to a movie like this. So there's an anticipation from a generation of being able to experience this movie where?
In theaters.
Because they've seen all the rest of them on Max, HBO Max.
Yep.
They've seen them all. But there is a difference seeing this movie in the theater because, like you said, when those things happen, you're excited.
We won't say what things. Don't say what things.
You're excited.
You're excited.
But you don't get as excited at home or when you're watching it on the Toy on your iPhone.
So, last episode we were talking about horror franchise, take a break, come back. This also, I don't know if we did mention, but it does feel like when Five Cream came out and there was a generation of fans, young people who probably watched Scream movies at home, never had a chance to see them in theater. And then when Five Cream hit theaters in 2022 with Jenna.
2021, I think, right?
No, I think it would have been spring 22. And then the sequel was spring 23. And then we didn't get one in 24. There were young people who found the movie at home, saw them all, and this was their first chance to do it together in a theater.
Yeah.
And that's what this felt like. I mean, the big feeling I took away from this movie was this was a celebration. And that's why people go to the theater. For something big. This movie gives you something big that you have to go to the theater for.
Yes, yes.
And the crowd loved it. It was one of the better installments. I mean, I haven't rewatched all these recently, but honestly, if you told me this was the best one, I would say, yeah, maybe it is. I don't remember the other ones all that well.
You felt the same way, and I might have felt the same way when we first left Five Cream.
Well, we definitely never thought it was better than Scream.
Well, no. That's true. Scream is an all-time classic, and I also think 2 is pretty unimpeachable as well. But I think we were really a buzz. We were vibrating in a way that we I think we liked it more in the experience than maybe after necessarily when it came to where it landed in the top for us. I don't have as much love for this franchise as I do for Scream.
Right.
So I
And
think
there's
it's a
no
whole different.
there's no classic amongst the Final Destination.
I mean,
movies.
I think 2 is the closest to a classic. 1 is actually really good too, but I think this is the first 2 are maybe the best. But yeah, I think that this does give you that feeling of, well, when's the next one coming out?
Yes.
Because
yes.
you can see
Give me more. Give me more.
how they could do this for another 5 and then maybe give it a rest. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think there's juice in this.
Yes.
You don't want to overjuice it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to make it too pulpy. You don't want to get pieces of the skin in there because you're just really trying to squeeze everything out of it. But I think 2-3 years from now, you get another one of these, people are going to be really excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to applaud John Watt, who's a guy who directed Wolves.
Right.
And he produced this and sort of shepherded this. And this could have been an HBO Max movie.
It was greenlit for HBO Max.
And because they did that
back when it was originally called HBO Max, before it became Max.
Yeah.
It is now HBO Max again. And it was greenlit for the original version of HBO Max.
And you see some horror franchises like Paranormal Activity came back on Paramount Plus and died a death. Nobody cared about that. This was given the actual theatrical treatment. It was marketed expertly.
Yep.
And Warner Brothers.
Let's say
another win.
Another win. This is New Line, but this is Warner Brothers. 3 of the top 4 movies this weekend are Warner Brothers. It's Minecraft is still top 4. Sinners is number 3, possibly going to be number 2 when the Monday actuals come in. So Warner Brothers, after a spring where they had Mickey 17, where they had Alto Nights, they are just firing on all cylinders right now. And do we say his name? Do we give it up for David Zaslav?
No, because what he did was just not fire the people who are in charge of actually making things happen.
But that's the only thing he does do.
No, because he's too busy paying attention to Pimple Popper and making sure that the Property Brothers are happy. And my 1,000-pound wife.
They might be on the way out, and we're not the Streamo boys,
huh?
But this was the big announcement the other day. Max is becoming HBO Max. So they're leaning back into HBO, the quality, the White Lotus type shows. They realize that's what draws people. If anyone's going to order the service, it's going to be people who want the good stuff. We may be seeing the end of your Dr. Pimple Poppers, your 1,000-pound wives, your 1,000-pound sister, your 1,000-pound brother, your 1,000-pound person. They all might be getting the boot because you look at what's hitting on streaming. It's the shows that people actually deem high quality. In movies, it's stuff like Sinners, high quality. This could be a bad time to be a Dr. Pimple Popper.
So you're saying...
Unless he's locked into, which he very well might be locked into a 10-year deal, Dr. Pimple Popper paying him $20 million a year. I don't know. But I think the HBO being added back to HBO Max is bad for the 1,000-pound people. And for Dr. Pimple Popper.
So you're saying half of HBO Discovery right in the trash?
I don't know. Might be. And if that's the case, then good on Zaslav. Here's the thing. If you could be an idiot, and you could be an idiot in charge, but maybe you see when things are going terribly, and you say, you know what? I am an idiot. Let me do the opposite of what I would normally do because I am an idiot.
Yes.
And that could be what's happening to David Zaslav now.
Yeah. And
he might be saying
have made things worse.
Made things worse.
And now I'm realizing that my legacy is going to be of a buffoon who ruined something wonderful and beautiful.
Right.
And maybe there's still time to turn it around.
Yes. That could be what's happening as David Zaslav sees, that quality does matter. Maybe he's going to put the kibosh on that Dr. Pimple Popper movie And instead, Ryan Coogler, you get to make another movie at whatever budget you want because Sinners was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But right now, Warner Brothers, they are the studio of the year, which who would have thought we would say that when Alto Nights opened
Oh,
just
I know.
a
And
month and a
Mickey
half
17.
ago.
But when you look at Mickey 17, it begot Sinners.
Yes.
It is in the same sort of family. You don't get Sinners without somebody greenlighting Mickey 17.
Well, do we want to? Since we're talking about it now, and we said that we were going to divvy up some millions.
Okay.
Do we divvy up millions on these two big Warner Brothers hits that have come out?
I feel like we
do
have
we do a
to.
double divvy?
Let's do it.
Two separate divvies. So, of course, if you are a new listener or a new YouTube viewer to the BO Boys, you might not know what divvying up the millions is. We take a huge movie that's out in theaters, that is nearing the end of its run. We take its box office, and then we divvy up who deserves money from that box office.
Yeah.
Who should get paid from the success of that movie. So now, if we were to use Sinners, which Sinners is at domestically 215 million plus, what did it make this weekend? We're calling it about 15. So say 230 million. Let's go with that as the current domestic total for Sinners. Does that feel right?
If you go to the numbers right now, they're saying 229.
229.
229.
Let's move it. It'll be up a little bit on Monday. Let's make it a nice clean 230.
Okay.
So 230 million is where Sinners is at right now domestically. Let's divvy that up. Clayton, what are some of the people or entities that you think deserve some of this Sinners money? Let's list them out, and then we'll assign money to them.
Now, just to clarify for
Yeah.
the listeners and the YouTube viewers,
Hey
guys, because we're YouTubers, this is the reason this made money. So this is why people went to see this movie.
Yes. Therefore, they should get paid from the box office because they earn that money. What did these people or entities earn?
I mean, number one, Ryan Coogler.
All right, so we're putting Coogler up there.
I think 2 Michael B. Jordans. I think we have to figure out which Michael B. Jordan gets more.
Okay.
But he definitely should get paid twice because he did 2 parts in this movie, and he is a draw for this movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm going to throw in, because you're talking about it, Mickey 17 and the Alto Nights.
Okay. Auteur movies.
As movies that I do think contributed to this movie doing well.
Okay.
So we'll throw them in there and then we'll debate.
Oh, because of the multiple people?
Yeah. They basically were movies that primed the pump for, hey, you're going to get to see someone play 2 parts.
Okay.
In a Warner Brothers movie.
Yes.
Not Sinners didn't have to be the first one this spring.
Mm-mm.
So I think Alto Nights, Mickey 17, maybe they get a taste of the Sinners money.
Okay.
So then there's Vampires.
As an IP.
Yep. And then Dracula. Do we separate Dracula from Vampires?
I don't think. Well,
Dracula. Well, we'll debate. Let's throw those on there as possibilities. And then, I mean, does Zasloff get anything? No.
Well, we'll put him in the pool and see what he gets.
Okay, we'll put him in the pool, see what he gets.
What about the Irish music?
Okay, Irish music. All right, so you're
that
putting
is in there.
Irish music. Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, we could throw him in there. I mean, I think the other actors are what they are.
Okay, so Haley Stanfield, Delroy Lindo. I think of the cast, those are the 2, aside from Michael B. Jordan, that we have to debate.
And I think everybody was really good in this movie. I couldn't imagine anybody but their direct family members going to see them, going to the movies to see this movie for them.
Okay, so then I'm going to drill down on this. Haley Stanfield's spit. I'm going to say that maybe that is where I'm going to put up a little bit of an argument
Okay.
on Haley
No,
Steinfeld's
I was
spit.
saying, no, I wasn't throwing her in there. I'm talking Delroy and her are the only other actors that
Got
I
it.
would even think about it, because otherwise the other people are all just the only people who paid to see them directly just to see them are
Or
their family members.
Got it.
Other than maybe Lola Kirk.
I think that's a tough one. If you want to argue for Lola Kirk getting paid, you'll have to make that case.
Okay.
As I'll make the case for Haley Steinfeld's spit. Anything else on Sinners that led to this box office?
For right now, let's break that down.
Okay, so 230 million. What do you think is the most important aspect of it? Is it Coogler or is it two Michael B. Jordans? Or is it Vampires? I think those are the three. Those are the three.
So close because Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are so tied together in the way that Scorsese and De Niro used to be. Where before Scorsese moved on to Leo and some of the other people he had in starring roles, it felt like, oh, De Niro and Scorsese, that's the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if this was anybody else, if this was Coogler plus anybody else, I don't think this movie does what it did.
Okay.
So they're very closely tied together.
But from the director of Black Panther, that feels like
Creed.
And Creed, that feels like the biggest marketing point that they had to work with.
I see that, but I also think without Michael B. Jordan, he is on the screen. You can like Coogler as much as you want to like Coogler, but Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan are on screen.
Okay.
So I think the on-screen talent in this capacity means more than Coogler, but not by much. I'm saying they're getting the bulk. These Coogler and the two Michael B. Jordans are getting
How are
the
you
bulk.
separating the Michael B. Jordans?
Oh, I just think he gets paid twice.
He gets paid twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever we pay, so say we give him, just for example, 30 million, he's going to get 60.
He's going to get 60 million.
Yeah. One for each person on screen.
So I would say that then Ryan Coogler should get paid more than either individual Michael B. Jordan. So how about this? Coogler 50 million, Michael B. Jordan
30 each.
30 million each.
Yes.
So now we're at 110 million off the board.
I love that. I think next biggest is Vampires.
Is Vampires. So we've got 120 million left. Vampires, man, Vampires.
They were failing though.
Vampires were failing, but specifically Dracula. Well, okay.
Nosferatu.
Does Nosferatu, forget Dracula, does Nosferatu get paid? Because he basically brought Vampires back as a viable box office draw.
I think Nosferatu gets paid.
Okay.
But I would say Dracula gets paid for not being in it.
Oh, wow,
that
for
this
sitting it out.
isn't Dracula.
Yeah.
Dracula gets paid for, it's like a farmer getting paid to not grow corn.
Right, because we have too much corn and we don't like it anymore.
Yeah, so we don't like Dracula, and the fact that Dracula sat out, I think he deserves $5 million for that.
Okay.
For staying on the sidelines and not being a part of it.
I would then give Nosferatu 25 million.
I agree
for
with that.
bringing vampires back. So there's 30 million. So now we're at 140 million.
You're not writing this down.
I'm not writing
That's
this
so
down.
bold.
It's all up here.
That's really bold.
And you know what? Write it down for me in the comments on YouTube. That's what I want you to do. Put it in the comments. Add it up in the comments.
I feel like you should write it down.
So then we've got 25 for Nosferatu, 5 million for Dracula, 60 for the two Michael B. Jordans combined, 50 for Ryan Coogler. What are we giving Mickey 17 and Alto Nights?
Well, so here's the thing. Mickey 17 came out first.
Yes.
And then Alto Nights came out second.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Sinners. So Alto Nights was always going to be a disaster. Like, that was already understood to be a disaster. That was a vanity piece because the producer of that movie goes to dinner on yachts with Zaslav.
Right.
They're like friends who where are they? They're in
They E-Trade together.
yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Alto Nights is such a small blip that it shouldn't get any money.
But Mickey 17 did take the bullet for this is goofy when actors are playing multiples of themselves.
Yeah.
Does Mickey 17 get 17? Is that way too high?
That's way too high.
So how about 3 million for Mickey 17 and 2 million for Alto Nights?
Well,
And I'm trying to keep it simple.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit on my Alto Nights thing here.
Okay.
Because I actually think it should be swapped, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because Mickey 17 was an actual attempt by a auteur filmmaker to make something interesting that they liked and was fun. And it did put a mark on the multiple actor thing and make it a little bit goofy, but that's because nobody wants to pay to see Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
Right? Other than if he's the Batman. And even if he ends up not being in the next Batman movie, it doesn't matter. They'll just fill that suit and it will make no difference.
Yeah. You could fill it with popcorn. You could, yeah.
You could fill it with 1,000 rats.
You could fill it with 1,000 rats, and it's a Batman movie filled with rats in a suit. And
yeah.
It won't do as well as a movie with a human in the suit, but it won't do much worse.
I think it'll do just as well as a Robert Pattinson starred Batman movie if you had 1,000 rats in the suit and it was just Bruce Wayne is 1,000 rats.
Wow.
So I think that the reason Alto Nights should get paid more is because it was so goofy and such a joke that people got it out of their system to laugh and laugh and laugh.
Right.
So that when the Sinners came, they were like, oh, I'm done laughing.
Right.
This isn't a joke to me anymore because I already got it all out.
Right.
So Alto Nights was the big enough goof, and it was the perfect level of goof.
Okay.
Where people could get their laughs out and take Sinners seriously.
So
I think Mickey gets some money because also, you're giving auteur filmmakers money, so it did grease the tracks for Sinners.
So how about we give Mickey 1 million and we give Alto Nights 4 million?
I love it. And so De Niro gets 2 million each.
And I think that money goes to De Niro because he's so over leveraged on these real estate dealings that he has. He could use this 4 million from Sinners.
But remember, he made all that money by renting out his apartments he owns to shoot Alto Nights.
It's still not enough to cover what he owes.
He did Crafty.
It's still not enough.
Okay.
It's still not enough. It's never enough. And he's got multiple alimonies. I think any chance you get to give De Niro a little bit of scratch, why not?
Great.
It's only going to go to debt collectors.
Okay, that's great.
So then
I would say we could give Mickey 1.7, but you're not writing this down, so that would make it.
I am writing it down now.
You
so
are,
you want to give him 1.7?
Let's give Mickey 17 1.7.
Okay, and then we'll give Alto Nights 4.3, just as
Okay.
So then cast members, and I think we may end up upping some of the totals we've given already because we have a lot of money to give away. And
where are we at right now?
So we are at 110, 135, 140, 145, 146 out of 230. So we've got some scratch to give away.
We got to bump up Coogler.
So let's bump up Coogler to give him 70 million.
And then bump up the two.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
They get 40 each, so that gets us to 80 million there. Okay, so now what are we giving Haley Stanfield's spit?
Well, here's the thing.
Because that moment, I know I told a lot of people about that, and I've talked about it on the show, and I do think there's a lot of people who went to see Sinners because they heard about the Haley Stanfield spit moment.
We can't give it any of the opening weekend or the opening day money.
Oh, but we're divvying up the 230 it's made up to this moment.
I'm just saying because people didn't know
Right.
going in.
Right.
They knew Coogler was directing it. They knew two Michael B. Jordans, right? They knew vampires on opening
Right.
day, but they didn't know about the spit. The spit is later money.
But Sinners make so much money because of its incredible hold. So I think the spit is a big factor in that.
I think the spit makes more than she does.
Yeah, I think we're just giving it to the spit.
Okay.
I think the spit is what gets the money in terms of Haley Stanfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So
is that $5 million spit?
I think it's more than Drac. If Drac is getting 5, I think Haley Stanfield's spit gets 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm giving Haley Stanfield's spit 10 million. Delroy. This man should have gotten an Oscar in the pandemic year for Da 5 Bloods.
Yeah.
And his speech should have been, gets on stage, tell your man I'm good.
Yeah, they're trying to give him they're trying to get him off the stage at the end of his speech.
And he looks at the head of the orchestra, tell your man I'm good. He should have had an Oscar. He doesn't have that Oscar yet. He should get some cash from this movie because I think he is the sort of well-known presence that lets you know this is not going to be Alto Nights. And obviously Coogler is a known auteur.
Yeah.
But even having a Delroy Lindo in a movie like this, after you've seen Mark Ruffalo just completely tank Mickey 17, and you saw Alto Nights where, other than De Niro, it was just a pile of rejects from the backgrounds of The Sopranos
and
filling
Deborah
out
Messing.
that movie, and Deborah Messing. Deborah Messing, second build in Alto Nights.
Remember that.
Remember that. Kids, remember that. In Sinners, you know Delroy Lindo. Oh, this is a higher level movie. So I don't know does he get as much as Haley Stanfield's spit? He's such a great actor. I hate having him get less than spit.
Let's give him 9.
So you are giving him less than
but
the
not
spit.
that much less.
Not 11. You don't think he deserves more than a wad of spit?
9 or 11. 9, 11.
Yeah.
9
or 11. Or 11.
Or 11.
Yeah. Which of those do you pick? Again, it's 9 or 11.
9 or 11.
Yeah, which of those do you
Give
pick?
the old man 11. Come on.
Yes, Delroy gets 11.
Put some respect on his name.
Here's one more I'm going to throw out
He
there.
could probably get $1 million if he would have sold his Oscar on eBay. So that's the eBay Oscar money.
He should have had that Oscar that he could have sold.
I guess it's Poshmark now, right? Do they sell stuff or just clothes? I don't know.
I think I don't know if you could sell an Oscar on Poshmark.
Okay. Email us.
Email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Can you sell an old Oscar on Poshmark? Here's one more I want to throw out there because we mentioned the hold of this movie. The hold being the story of the Sinner's Run. These incredible holds. I think the hold itself.
Does the box office get money?
Yeah, I think the hold, in quotes, the hold of Sinners should get money.
Yes.
Because the hold is what people heard about. They heard about the spit. They heard about Michael B. Jordan's performance. And I think they heard about the hold. So the box office hold, I think, gets at least $5 million.
Okay.
At least $5 million.
Yeah, I think this is, this is a movie that a generation will look at as the reason they care about box office.
Yes.
Right? We're going to have a lot of, listen, we love Christopher. Want to be a VP of interns, Christopher. I don't know if he can continue to do the job just by himself. So there are going to be interns under him because he's VP of interns. He needs to have people reporting to him at some point.
Right.
And these young people, even younger than him, will look at Sinners as that's when I started looking into box office because of the hold.
So we're at 212 million and we got to get to 230.
Did we give Vampire IP anything?
We gave Nosferatu 25 and we gave Drac 5 for not being in the movie.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think vampires, I think Nosferatu brought vampires back.
Yes, yeah.
I think vampires were dead.
Yeah. So
Maybe we can give that $1 million to vampires. Because there are people who are like hardcore Anne Rice novel readers who will watch anything.
I think then we give a little more to vampires. If we're giving them anything, Nosferatu brought them back. Give them $3 million.
Okay.
So now we're at 215. We have 15 million to go here. You mentioned music. You mentioned Irish music.
Yes.
Is that the music you want to give money to for Sinners? I'm letting you run with this one.
Well, there is, what I'm saying is there is Irish music along with blues music.
Okay.
Right?
There are those. So now how would you like to divvy that up for the movie Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler?
Well, you got
blues and Irish traditional music.
You got to think of what has the most popularity right now.
Okay.
Right?
We're not talking Irish music as in U2.
Well, they're not very popular right now.
Right, true.
I'm talking like Hosier or something.
Okay.
He's an Irish guy, and people like him.
Okay.
Right? So it is this 15 million. It has to go between either Irish music or blues music.
Yeah. I would say we could divvy up this final 15 amongst those two kinds of music.
Okay.
Give
so
one
Lola Kirk
10
is
million.
not getting any money.
I don't think Lola Kirk gets a penny.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she gets a big zero.
You think
from
the only
Sinners.
people who went to see her are her family, including Jemima Kirk?
Yes, I think Jemima Kirk went. I can't even guarantee Jemima Kirk has gone to this movie. She's probably pretty busy and has art shows to go to and, fell asleep in a park or something. Yeah. And so she might not have seen Sinners. So I think Lola Kirk gets zero. So I think this final 15 million.
Well, here's one thing, because there's a scene in this movie that people look at as the scene.
Yes, the scene.
That in IMAX supposedly they changed the formatting or whatever, and the sound and all this stuff. And in that scene, they are playing blues music.
Yes, and it's the scene.
And
other than the spit, that's the scene.
And there are scenes of Irish music that people say, "Oh, that was really cool, and it was really interesting, and it was creepy and eerie."
Yeah.
But they don't point to that as the reason to see this movie.
No,
the way
they don't.
Point to Haley Stanfield's spit to anybody who looks at you.
Yes, I yell it in the street.
And you yell it in the street
once a day at least.
So I would say blues music.
Yeah.
And in the general history of black music in general, that's represented by this movie, should get the bulk of this remaining money.
I'd give it 14 and give the Irish music 1 million.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with that.
So the Irish traditional music gets 1 million. So I'll read it off now. Okay. This is our final tally. Should get us to 230 million. Ryan Coogler gets 70 million. Michael B. Jordan gets 40 million each, so that's 80 million. Nosferatu gets 25 million. Dracula gets 5 million for not appearing in this movie. Mickey 17 gets 1.7 million. The Alto Knights gets 4.3 million. That's all going to debt collectors for Robert De Niro. Haley Stanfield's Spit, not the actress, but the spittle, gets 10 million. Delroy Lindo gets 11 million. Should have won the Oscar a few years ago. The box office hold itself gets 5 million. Vampires as an IP get 3 million.
Okay.
Blues music gets 14 million. Irish music gets 1 million. By my math, that is 230 million, which is the current domestic total for Sinners.
Now, do you feel okay with blues music? The origin of most music that has ever been popular, at least in America.
Okay.
Getting only $4 million more than Haley Stanfield's Spit.
It got more. And I think that I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with that.
All right. Then I'm okay with it.
So do we want to continue and divvy up the millions on Minecraft? Is that something because that was asked for. People have been begging us to divvy up these millions. So do we do it now, Or do we do a tease and do it on the next episode?
Next episode, we will be previewing
Two big summer movies. We'll
Yes.
be previewing Mission Impossible Final Reckoning and Lilo and Stitch, which I will be seeing. I'll be seeing both of those movies back-to-back days next weekend.
Here's what I'll say. Since we are going to be previewing it,
Yeah.
we're not going to be doing the numbers. And the numbers are going to need to
Tell-
be dug into
Yeah.
deeply. So we won't have time.
Yeah.
I do think our solemn vow
Yes.
to our wanna be O boys, wanna be O girls, wanna be O people, and all the YouTube watchers,
Hey guys.
because we are YouTubers, we will divvy up the millions for Minecraft on the next episode.
Yes.
So we can go into Memorial Day and that box office free and clear.
Yes. I think that's the way to go. And it's a great hook. And I know right now people are in their cars, they're slamming their radio saying, I want it now.
Yeah.
But even them deep down, if they could get the car from going off the side of the bridge and they get it back on the road, they know, man, but that is a great tease for the next episode.
Yes.
And so we will divvy up the millions for a Minecraft movie on the next episode, and it will be the Memorial Day box office preview episode. That's going to be gigantic. Huge. So, yeah, that is what a weekend. Final Destination Bloodlines. And again, this is Saturday. There is a chance this will be a Bad Boys for Life, which was Bad Boys 3 type of weekend where this just keeps going up and up throughout the weekend. It could hit 50.
And here's what I'll say. The previews went up.
Yeah,
They thought it was in the 4s. It was 5.5.
right.
They think it's in the 40s now. It's Saturday. I mean, there's plenty of people who are going to want to see this movie. There's plenty of people who are going to listen to us
Right.
and hear this podcast and run out
Yes.
and see it.
Yeah.
Even if they were mildly spoiled, they
Yeah.
will still want to see it because
Not a spoiler. That was an enticement. Some things are spoilers, some things are enticements. This was an enticement. Great cold open.
all right, you don't need
Crowd
hash
cheers.
it 'cause-
Crowd cheers.
Okay.
Crowd cheers.
They do cheer
So
because they were surprised.
I think
They did
that
not have an
we all knew.
They
So
had no inkling.
I think that and Anthony D is for Disney D'Alessandro's Saturday write-up. He did say, oh, horror's always front loaded and what it makes on Friday and Saturday is probably not going to go up on Sunday.
Sinners was horror.
Sinners is horror, and I think this Bloodlines movie is so well received and is getting so much buzz, it will buck that trend. It will keep going up. So 46 is where we're at now. I think of the Monday actuals, this hits 50. But either way, it's gigantic. It's
either
a
way,
huge
this
opening.
is a smashing success.
Yeah.
The fact that this is in the 40s because they were saying 35 to 40, Warner Brothers, of course you want to go low.
Right. So box office goes high.
Yeah. And I mean, 50, this is amazing, but 50 would be even more amazing. And I
Yeah.
do think it gets there.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it on our next episode, and we'll divvy up a Minecraft movie. So email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Listen, if you have any suggestions for what you think should get some money, some scratch from a Minecraft movie box office, let us know. Send your suggestions, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Of course, subscribe to the Substack, follow us on social media at the BO Boys Pod. Wanna BO VP of Interns Christopher, killing it with the vertical clips on social media. I mean, he's a grad, he's out there pounding the pavement, sending his resume around, or he's not, who knows?
Or he's still recovering from post-grad partying.
Yeah. So he's not pounding the pavement. His face might be on the pavement,
Mhm.
but he's been lying there for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's killing it with the vertical clip. So follow us at the BO Boys Pod on social media. Subscribe to the Substack. Of course, we are YouTubers. Hey guys. You gotta subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends, tell your family. This is where it's at. You're only getting half the story if you listen to the podcast and don't watch it on YouTube.
And can I give another enticement for next episode? Not that
wow.
people needed more, but we asked last episode for a specific illustration.
Oh, wow.
We asked for Lilo
Yeah.
No, Stitch. I'm sorry. Stitch, who's
Yeah.
the alien,
He's the alien. I
flying
think,
his
yeah.
spaceship with Tommy Cruise,
Yep.
hanging from the wing.
Yep.
And we still want submissions, but we got a great submission from
amazing one.
the man himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's RHSY, right?
Reese.
Reese.
Yes. Yeah.
Pronounced Reese.
Yeah.
Who also
Like the
did
pieces. Yeah.
also did the Paddington pissing on Captain America's shield. That is a work of art. The facial expression, of course, better than the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
He did it again.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going to unveil this art. If Pat puts it in the video.
I guaranteed I will put it in
Just
on
make
the
sure-
next YouTube episode.
Not this one. Don't
Not
put it
this
in this
one.
one.
It's not going to appear right now.
Yeah, don't put it in this one.
I said right now.
Okay.
It didn't appear
No.
because I didn't put it in there.
Okay, you didn't. But make sure you put it in the next episode.
Yeah, it'll be in the next episode.
Okay, well, make sure you do.
Yeah, well, it will because I do it, and
Great, just make sure you do. Anyway, because I'm teasing it, so
you
it'll
should
make
ma-
me
You
look...
should make sure that there's a minute of silence on our next podcast
Yeah.
episode, which you did do a few episodes ago, and people wrote
It was a
about.
meta joke, and people loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Definitely not an
hardcores
accident or
knew.
a
The
mistake.
hardcores knew.
Yeah.
But just because... Don't make me look foolish. Make sure you put it in the next episode. Don't put it in this episode because then I'll look stupid because
Oh,
there should be nothing
First time.
here
Mm-hmm.
or here or here or here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I think there actually will be some things when you say here or here or here in this
like
episode.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
there'll be some things in this one, but it won't be Reese's amazing drawing of Tommy Cruise hanging onto a plane flown by Stitch.
And it's not
It won't
just that,
be
it's got some added elements that are just
Amazing.
It's what makes him what he is, which
Yeah,
is just
one
a
of the
great
greats.
artist.
Yeah.
But yes, that will be in the next video.
That will be in the video, next video. Other things are around your face in this
Right.
video that people are watching right now.
But don't do too much work on this video. That next video you slack off.
No,
Okay.
no.
Just make sure you do it.
Yeah, definitely will be done. That'll be in the next episode. Other things appeared around you, though, in the episode
Okay.
we're in right now.
But don't get burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got plenty of energy to put things
Great.
on frame.
All right.
So I could see right now.
Okay.
There you go.
Right now, is there something right here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
So that's why you got to watch the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
'Cause so much is going on.
Even I now have to watch the YouTube channel.
You do, yeah. Clayton may finally subscribe to the YouTube channel because he's got to see what's around his
Well,
face
my
right now.
personal YouTube account got demonetized pretty harshly.
Yeah. Well, you were saying some things that even YouTube
It was a
like,
rough
that's
pandemic,
a bit much.
let's just
yeah,
say.
that's a bit much.
2020 was tough.
We allow some rabbit holes, but not that rabbit, not that hole. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and and of course 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. How could I?
How can you
forget?
not give 5 stars to this episode?
To this episode? Yeah. So that's all I got, Clayton.
Bet I finished.
Wow.
And you've said it all.
Yep.
Maybe too much.
Perhaps. Definitely shown too much here.
But there's nothing left to be said.
Great, so I could leave.
Except for, until next time,
We'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.